Okay, so what Jeff just outlined was what, again, we call the big three of integral psychotherapy. And it's elaboration of the big three that are the core of integral theory in general, which is the I, we, and it perspectives. How that translates in terms of integral psychotherapy is, starting in the reverse, the I for ILP is using the self as instrument as a clinician. So we practice ILP ourselves so that we can be more finely attuned to our clients, to our responses, to how we are available. The aqual praxis is the we of integral psychotherapy, which Elliot will go more into. It's how we are able to apply the theory and respond with the self as instrument. The it of integral psychotherapy is, of course, integral theory, aqual theory in a nutshell. So what is aqual theory? What are the 5 elements? Just call them on out. We'll start the integral mantra right here. Great. And you guys all went to the intro day yesterday, and if you didn't because you have a good feel for those, pretty much, yeah? Hopefully we can say yes and no to that question, because I want to suggest that there are 3 ways that we can be practicing aqual theory. And like any orders of practice, they're built upon the ones that precede them, and they're all really important. So, first thing is, aqual theory is not a map of some place out there. Aqual theory is actually a map of our own awareness right now. So, levels, lines, states, types, and quadrants are descriptors. They're concepts to the degree that they help us pinpoint, to point out directly what we're experiencing in our own awareness. So it's not something out there. It's something deeply in here that is all around us and ever present. So it's the most powerful maps are those with just the right degree of abstraction. Because if we had to cover the whole territory all the time, we would go mad. That's why we have an organizing ego, thank goodness, right? Because something has to organize this awareness that we are, that is so vast, it's very challenging to actually look directly into it. So we take a little edge off the light of who we are with this map of who we are. And this map is so powerful for all of us. We resonate with it so strongly, I think, because of its elegance and simplicity, that level of abstraction of the territory, because it also is plugged in directly to what that territory is. So the way to use a map, the way to use any tool, is to know how to use it correctly. So I'm going to offer you 3 ways, because a tool is only useful when we know really truly how to use it. The first way is we have to learn the concepts. If we're learning how to drive, for instance, we have to know what a yield sign is, a stop sign is, a one-way street. We have to be able to identify those signposts before we actually get out on the road. So we do well to learn those concepts. And as much as we all think that we know them inside and out, I guarantee you that there's more to learn. That the way that we really look into these concepts alone that help describe the territory that we are, truly, it's infinite, our understanding of levels, lines, states, types, and quadrants. So to really bring that joyful effort to looking into what those descriptors, what those concepts are on a level of mind. There's another level that we join with that level of mind. When we learn the signposts on the road, at some point we get our license and we, ready or not, here we come. We get out onto the road. And we have a direct experience of the territory. We have a direct experience of the territory. And one of the things that's wonderful about the time that we put into learning those concepts is that when we arrive, say at a one-way street, we actually know a little bit about how we might navigate that territory, because we've done a little bit of homework. And so we know how to recognize that signpost that comes up in our direct experience that's right in front of us. And if we hadn't learned the concepts, we might have missed it. We might have missed it. How many of you have gone to another country and hit a one-way sign and not known how to read it? Things like, those experiences.
To me here too.
So it is really helpful to put that learning into what those concepts are, not because it's an abstraction out there, but because it's a direct pointing out of what's in here, of what our direct experience is. But we have to join the concepts to our direct lived experience for the theory to come alive, which is the only point of having a wonderful, very finely tuned map with a certain level of abstraction. The map is simply an invitation to our direct experience. And if we don't accept that invitation, we've missed the incredible generosity of the map maker, and we've done a disservice to the map. So bring your passion for the maps by applying it with your direct experience. One more way that we can deepen our understanding of aqua theory. We have this map of, we could say, the territory of mind, if we want to use that word in its most vast sense, big mind. We have this territory of the phenomena that we are, this territory of the forms that we take on, the appearances that we become. We have this map so that we can actually see through these forms, and they become transparent to our awareness, and we can actually see, taste, feel the background from which these forms, this phenomena, this map of samsara, this aqua map of who we are, arises. That's a third way to really allow aqua theory to come alive. We hope that by the end of this week, you touch in with all of those and know that all of them serve the others as well. So for anybody who says, hey, don't spend your time just learning in those concepts, you have to really feel through it, you can say, you know what, I'm learning how to identify what's in here. I know it's in here, but for whatever reason, it's hard for me to find that level of awareness, or it's really challenging to discern that particular line. It's hard for me to distinguish spiritual development from cognitive, and how's that different from interpersonal? So, let's have a lot of support for learning those concepts together and getting really interested in the nuances of them. They go very deep. And for any of us who have not yet fully availed ourselves to the lived experience of this level that I'm working on, this type that I am, of seeing it directly and then using the descriptor to simply attend to that dimension of our being, hook it up throughout the week, direct experience. You're driving and then you hit the road. You hit the sign on the road and you go, wow, that's where I am. And last but not least, look into the background from which this map arises. Allow yourself to be available to that field of awareness, that vast field of spacious awareness, that this beautiful map comes into being and points out our own experience.
You are listening to www.integralnaked.org.